Thank you for stopping by Ballistic Barbecue. On this video, I am going to be grilling up the Cheeseburger del Sol on a solar grill. Get it? Sol, sun. Anyway, let's get going. So I'm watching Top Chef on television, and they have the contestants out in the middle of the desert, and they're cooking on solar ovens and solar grills. Now, I've seen solar ovens, but I'd never seen a solar grill before. So I did a little check on the computer, and I tracked down the company that's making the grills they were using. It's a company called One Earth Designs, and they're making this. This is the SolSource solar grill. And I sent them an email and I said, hey, I'd love to put your grill through its paces on my channel. And they agreed. They hooked me up with this grill, and got to tell you, my son and I put it together. It was pretty darn easy to put together, and look how cool this thing looks. I mean, it looks like something out of Star Wars. This Cheeseburger del Sol that I came up with has a bunch of components to it, and we are going to be doing everything on this solar grill. So let's get going. So I have my skillet sitting atop the cooking surface here, the grates, and you'll notice there's a black mirror underneath here. You utilize that to look at the bottom of the pan, which is ingenious. And what you want to do is make adjustments to get that sunlight focused underneath the dead center of the bottom of this pan. So let's make those adjustments. We can adjust it horizontally here. So get it aimed at the sun. And then you can also make a vertical rotation here. And literally, it's just been a couple minutes. This thing is hot enough to cook. We're going to start out with some chopped up bacon here. This is actually Hungarian bacon that a buddy of mine gave me, and it's got a lot of nice spices to it. So as you can see, it's still piping hot. Bacon's nice and crisp. I'm going to get rid of a little bit of this excess fat here. Right now I'm going to add the onion, and this is one medium sweet onion. As you can see, we're getting some great color on these onions now. And here's something for you. The pan was actually getting a little hotter than I wanted for the onions. So what I did was, using the adjustments, I redirected the heat to where it was more off to the side of the pan, and it brought it down to that perfect kind of caramelization temperature. All right. Now we are going to add 1 cup of bourbon, 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 1/4 teaspoon cayenne pepper, kosher salt, this is just a taste, fresh black pepper, smells unbelievable. So what I'm going to do now is allow this to come up to a boil, and I'm going to reduce this to the thickness of like a sauce, you know, a syrupy sauce. And here we are, look at that, gorgeous. Again, it smells unbelievable. Let me pull this off the heat, let it set up a little bit more, and we'll get going on the burger. Right now, for the fun stuff, I'm going to grill up a beautiful patty that I ground up from a gorgeous, gorgeous New York strip steak, very, very marbled, as you can see. Add a little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper. A bit more salt, and a little bit more pepper. Now, as you can see, I have a little shadow going across my griddle here. I'm using this flat top griddle, and no big deal because, again, the heat's coming up from below. And if you're looking in this little mirror, this little black mirror, it is a nice concentrated circle of white light in the dead center of this pan. All right, now for the next component, and I can guarantee I'm going to get some comments about this. I have here a slice of Fuji apple. I'm going to add just a little bit of sugar here, a little bit of salt, a little bit more salt, a little bit more sugar. All right, now for the naysayers out there, apple goes very, very well with cheese. It goes very well with pork. We have both of those components going on this burger, and I hit it with a little bit of sugar and a little bit of salt. It's going to cut that sweetness just a little bit. Believe me, it's awesome. And I'm not going to cook this completely through. I just want to get it browned on the outside. I still want a little bit of crispness, but I want it to be warm. Burger's looking great. Let's give it a flip. Look at that, nice. Apple's getting some wonderful color on it as well. Sharp cheddar cheese, again, goes killer with apple. Cheese, as you can see, is starting to melt really well. I'm going to center the apple on the burger here, the patty. Move this off to the side. Paper towel, I'm just going to wipe some of this excess oil out of here. I have here some just beautiful egg and onion rolls, and we're going to put a nice little toast on these. Nice toast on the buns. Let's go ahead and build us a burger. First thing I'm going to do is lay down some arugula. And I just like this. It's got a nice crispiness, but it also has a peppery quality to it. Get that patty down with that nice apple slice. Now for that bourbon, onion, bacon, jam. And voila, the Cheeseburger del Sol. Let's try it out. Normally I would say this is going to make a lot of noise, but it's going to make a big mess. Let's put it that way. So yeah, you get savoriness of the onion, you get a little bit of heat from that cayenne, some saltiness, some sweetness. I would say this is a perfectly balanced burger. I'm very happy. I have to say this thing is extremely fun to cook on. Who would it be good for? I go to the desert a lot. I'm going to drag this out to the desert and cook out there. I mean, you're cooking completely off the grid, which is kind of cool anyway. If you're living in an area where you're not able to generate smoke, or maybe you don't want to generate smoke, perfect. Don't have to buy charcoal. I mean, it's pretty darn cool. And again, my son digs on the way this looks, kind of that Star Wars look. Anyway, thanks again for watching. If you're interested in checking this out, I'll have the link down below for One Earth Designs. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.